Hi guys, it's Southern Cygnar back with another battle report. Tonight the scenario is Mosh Pit, and the circular area in the middle is the objective. Once again, the Khador is going to set up and move first, with the Cygnar setting up and moving second. And facing us are the bad guys, consisting of Vladimir, who's bringing 2 destroyers and a juggernaut, against the good guys, which is Siege, 2 defenders, a hunter, and Reinhold. And if you're wondering, yes, this is all of my models, which is why the forces look strikingly similar to the ones from the previous battle report. So without further ado, we'll get into the deployment. My buddy Kevin is playing the Khador, and he puts Vlad down, followed by the Juggernaut and both of the destroyers. I then play Siege with Reinhold, both of my defenders, and I advance deploy the hunter. And here's another look at that deployment. So, Khador moves first, and in the control phase, he puts 1 focus on each of his jacks, and keeps 4 focus for Vlad. He then runs up each of the 3 jacks. I'm starting to see a pattern between these games. But here he walks Vlad up and he casts Wind Wall, which is kind of a new one on me, so we'll see how that goes. So on my control phase, I give 2 focus to each of the defenders, and I keep 2 focus on Siege. Now, a couple things are going to happen this turn that we're not really sure how to handle. Kevin's played a little bit more than I have, but I'm relatively new to this game, and if I've made any mistakes, I'm sure you guys will let me know. The first was Reinhold. I activated Reinhold and used the action Spyglass. Now, I wasn't sure, or we weren't sure, if that action took place immediately or if it happened when Siege activated, and since we couldn't really tell, we went ahead and used it at the time. So I measured the distance between my defender and his juggernaut, and it was 22 inches, which put him 1 inch out of range. So having done that, the second thing that we weren't entirely sure about is I cast Explosive O with Siege, but since it wasn't a maintenance spell or an upkeep spell, I didn't see any reason why I couldn't cast it again, so I cast it again on the other defender. Once again, not 100% sure we did that right, but the best we could tell, that was correct. So, on my next activation, I move up my defender, take a shot at the Juggernaut. Now he's out of range, so I automatically miss. It scattered and caught the Juggernaut in the template, but unfortunately there was no damage. The next activation, I moved up the other defender, and once again take a shot at the Jug, but this time when I scattered, I missed everything. And then on the right, I moved up my hunter. So back to Khador control phase. Once again, he puts 1 focus on each of his jacks, keeps 4 for Vladimir, and we're back to running. So each of the jacks run forward, and once again Vladimir moves forward and casts Wind Wall. Now, it's right about this time we started looking at the scenario victory conditions a little closer, and we discovered that the jacks can't actually control the center area because they don't have a command rating, and kind of realized that I've probably already lost this game. So this, for the next turn, is really kind of out of desperation. So I give 1 focus to the defender, keep 5 for Siege, And let's see if we can do something crazy and try not to lose at the end of the next turn. So here what goes down. First of all, Siege casts Explosivo on both of the defenders. He then moves up, casts Rift. Now here's another thing we weren't entirely sure on. Because it's an offensive spell, it has to be targeted at someone, and it can't just be placed in the open ground. So I cast it at the defender on the right, and then it's scattered to the location that you see. Once again, not 100% sure we did that correctly, but there it is. Then my defender on the left takes a shot at Juggernaut, hits him, and at this point all 4 models are under the template, but since the damage is halved, or his power's halved, really don't do anything to anybody. I then move up the other defender, take a shot at Juggernaut, and once again hit everybody but don't do any damage. I move up my Hunter, and then in order to keep from losing the game at the end of the next turn, I run Reinhold inside the control zone just to prevent Kevin from winning. So, on the Khador control phase, he gives 1 focus to each of his destroyers, keeps 5 focus on Vlad. He then moves up the Juggernaut just to get it out of the way. Moves up Vlad, casts Signs and Portents. Moves up the destroyer, takes a shot at Rain, kills him, and that was the end of the game. I was a little stunned, but there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it.
The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went.